Hey, welcome to another episode of our Untitled podcast. This is a special episode where we are going to review a movie that we just saw today.
Special Valentine's Day edition.
Yes, Valentine's Day edition. What's up? This is Tyler, and I am joined here by the lovely, gorgeous, and talented and smart Meg.
Wow.
Yes,
Thanks.
wow. Yeah, you're welcome. So, here we are. We just got back from the movie theater, and,
In addition to this being a review, it's also a bit of a mukbang,
yeah.
because we are eating some Raising Cane's right now.
Yeah, this is a mukbang where you eat food and you talk. So,
We didn't really plan that. We were just hungry.
I was going to say congratulations. You've just entered a world of listening to two people eat food. So,
Which I wouldn't want to do, so I'm sorry.
in case you're interested in hearing about the food before we jump into the movie, we're eating Raising Cane's, which is one of my favorite places that we found since we moved here.
So good, dude.
I have the Caniac combo, which means I get coleslaw, which they call slaw down here. So I got me some slaw. I got some cane sauce. I actually got extra cane sauce because I fucking love cane sauce. Super good. I
I don't
really
use the cane sauce. I'm a ketchup girl.
I don't know what's in the cane sauce, but
It's some sort of like mayo-based concoction.
it's
isn't
kind
it?
of peppery.
And it's like an orange color.
Yeah.
When this turns into a food review.
Uh-huh. So there's also Texas toast, which is super good.
And we have our dog right here too, so this is just completely unprofessional.
Yes. Yeah, we are just a hot mess. So if,
but we're just having fun.
if Figgy starts barking, then this is just going to be a quadruple.
Oh, there he
Oh
is.
my god. Well, it's a disaster. The stars have aligned. So, the last thing I need to say is that also I get fries. There's a lot of food in here. And a shit ton of chicken. Did I mention the chicken?
That's the selling point.
I don't think I even said that. I get a ton of chicken with this combo. And then you get a little bit of a lesser combo that doesn't come with the slaw.
Yep.
You don't really like the slaw.
Nope.
Stop.
It's like fried chicken, fries, and Texas toast.
Yeah,
So bomb.
It's really good. We get this place all the time.
Yeah. One of our favorites.
It's Valentine's Day, so we figured instead of going out to a fancy restaurant, let's just splurge on some... Hello? Splurge on some fried chicken.
Right. We've been together too long to go all out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. There are plenty of holidays throughout the year that you can go all out on. You don't need to do it for all of them.
And it's our 1-year wedding anniversary this Sunday.
Yep, so since those are so close, it's another good reason to not do too much.
Gotta budget that out.
Yeah.
Not made of money.
Split it up a little. So, let's talk movies.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say what movie yet that
No.
we saw. Today, we saw... You say it.
Well, what else would you see on Valentine's Day other than the current 50 Shades movie?
It's Valentine's Day, so it must be 50 Shades.
It is the Saw of Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore, though. This is the last one.
And what a climax it was.
Climax, that's a good joke. It was not a great climax, in my opinion.
No.
I think that the both of us have matured a lot in the way that we look at movies over the last few years. And there's some chance in this world that at least one of us would have liked this movie years ago. But for me personally anyway, I just speak for myself. Looking at this movie as a third movie in a trilogy, having to close out all of the loose ends and, leave us with a satisfying conclusion for these characters and the journey that we've gone through with them, it just failed on every account of all of those.
A definite flop.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. I have trouble describing even like what the movie was about.
Maybe because it wasn't really about anything.
I had that trouble with the last movie too, and maybe
Yeah.
the first.
But I actually liked the second movie.
I didn't.
Like, not in, it's a great film kind of way, but in, like a chick flick fun kind of way. I didn't like the first one at all. I thought it was terrible. And then we didn't see the second one in theaters because I was like, oh, well, the first one was terrible.
I don't remember the first one really that much.
Me either. We only saw it that one time, and that was like 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
But we ended up watching the second one on HBO Go, and I actually liked it. Like, I thought it was still terrible, but it was fun for me.
I thought it was bad.
Well, it is objectively bad. Hey, quiet.
But yeah. This is the third one, and that's big, and it should be the ending, but to me this didn't feel like an ending. I know I'm kind of skipping to the end, but that's what I just saw most recently was the end. This movie kind of ends... I don't know, should there be spoilers in this review? Absolutely.
Definitely spoilers.
Let's spoil it up, because you should not...
I have to talk about some of this shit.
If you did not see this movie on Valentine's Day, you're not going to like get amped up to see it next week. So you're not going to listen to this.
And it's been out for like a week. I feel like anyone who wants to see it will have either seen it on opening weekend or Valentine's Day.
I feel like we should totally have a conversation about spoilers at some point. Because I'm totally against them. I hate spoilers in anything, always, ever.
But we always do spoilers in our...
Yeah. But however, with the podcast, I've been really lax with it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe
because no one's listening to us.
Yeah, just because I don't expect anyone to really listen to what we're saying, and kind of just doing this for fun, and it's not really fun to speak to each other in riddles.
Right.
If I was doing a real, like, I don't know, stand in front of a camera and like do a review and like millions of people are gonna watch, then I would probably keep it vague and speak in riddles. But this is more like just us talking.
Yeah, it's how we talk normally.
Yeah.
Also, I'm trying to like chew away from the microphone because I feel so weird, like eating.
I'm having my slaw right now, and I'm like 99% positive that they can hear me crunching. Which is pretty cool. It's got to add to the experience, I imagine.
Why don't you grab a snack too?
Yeah, grab
Eat
a
with
snack,
us.
and then record yourself, and then paste the recording in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can put it all together and just make a big video of everybody just munching.
Right.
All of our viewers.
So I don't know really where to start, but I know that I have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to talk about it.
I think
Normally,
go ahead.
when we, like on our walk back to the car is usually when we conference about what we thought of a movie.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to do that today because we wanted to save it for the podcast.
Part of me wants to like really structure this and start from the beginning, and we can
We
like
can do that. if you
talk
want.
through the plot. But the other part of me thinks like whenever we walk back to the car from the theater,
Kind of do it in reverse.
just kind of like shout out random things about it. And so I think that's probably appropriate here also.
Yeah.
So, but let's say one thing that we hated about the movie. Because
Like each say something different.
I feel like everybody who's here is at least here for us to talk some shit on the movie because they're expecting us to hate it,
Right.
which I didn't really like it. But I don't even know if I hated it. It wasn't even really a movie. It was just like
It was fun.
a bunch of things happened.
I laughed a lot.
None of the characters really grew or changed.
Also, we ran into one of your coworkers at the theater, and I was super embarrassed for you to tell them what we were seeing.
Yeah, they were watching like a real movie.
And
And
like, oh, what are you seeing?
yeah, 50 Shades.
50 Shades. So awkward.
Yeah, that was funny.
Also, a really awkward movie to watch in the theater.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously you go in knowing that it's really sexual.
There
and
were
it's-
so many parts where I was like, I couldn't help but laugh at the fact that it was really awkward that I was watching this alongside all these people.
in a room full of strangers. I didn't even think about it before going to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the first sex scene, I was like, oh my god.
Okay, let me talk
There's people
about...
everywhere.
I gotta talk about the ice cream scene because I just thought about it. So I just thought about the ice cream scene, and there's a lot to talk about with the ice cream.
Oh my god.
But the number one thing about the ice cream that really threw me off and kind of disgusted me, actually... So, like, get this. I'll set the scene. Anastasia and Christian are married, and they are in some building at night.
They're on like vacation.
Yeah, sure. And she is like downstairs, like eating ice cream.
She woke up from a nightmare, so it's like the middle of the night, and she went downstairs to get some ice cream.
Right.
As you do.
But here's the real important meat to the story. They meet up and they start putting ice cream on each other and then like licking it off, right?
Right.
Do you follow? And there's a part where there's so many parts in this fucking movie where we get to see Christian, that actor, we get to see like almost his dick. Like so many times.
You see pubes for sure.
And it was like whatever, pubes are cool, like people have pubic hair, but man, that guy was hairy near his dick area, and it was all over this movie.
Stop.
And I swear to God, I shit you not, in the ice cream scene, she puts a bunch of ice cream on him, and then she goes to like lick it off, and some of the ice cream is down in that jungle area.
Ew.
And she goes down there, and she is licking away the ice cream, and you can like see like the hair on him.
All right, don't talk this graphically.
Maybe some people actually like this, you know, in the movie, but she's licking
also,
his...
I don't remember that. Is that when I went to the bathroom?
I think you were there. Weren't you there for all of the ice cream bits?
I think towards the end of the ice cream scene, I went to the bathroom. Which I never go to the bathroom during movies because I don't want to miss anything. With this movie, I didn't fucking care.
But you were just so into it that it made you have to go to the bathroom.
Not quite.
What's that thing where he says, like, the girl said that he was going to make her pee, and he was like...
Oh, Mike Birbiglia. I love him.
If you guys have a chance, go to Netflix and watch Mike Birbiglia.
That's such a good special. What's it called? Do you remember? Because he has a few on there.
I don't know.
I can't think of it. But it's
Is
so
that
funny.
the one that's called, like, My Girlfriend's Boyfriend?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's such a good special. It's he tells a story from when he was like an adolescent, and his school partner in some project calls him, and he's telling jokes, and he realizes that that's kind of like his in with girls because he's not like one of the cute guys at school. And so he would make her laugh, and she said, "Mike, stop, I'm gonna pee." And he was like, "And that's the closest I'd ever been to a vagina before."
It's really funny.
Oh my god, he's so good.
I like that joke. Anyway. Long story short, they really disgusted me with the ice cream pubes scene.
I
not a fan.
missed that part. I'm sorry. I saw the beginning when she like just flung her spoon at him.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
There's a lot of tits in the movie too.
Yeah, lots of boobs.
Her boobs were all over the movie.
I mean, this is all stuff you expect, though.
Yeah. I don't know though. Her licking his pubes.
Ew,
I feel like
don't say that.
I feel like if I was filming like a movie where there's a lot of sex, I mean, it's nice to make things realistic and like dirty or whatever, and real and raw. But in some ways, if it's a movie, wouldn't you want to be able to like clean things up and make them like, you know, smooth sailing? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's just a complaint of mine, okay? The ice cream scene. Not a fan of the ice cream scene.
That's your first negative point.
Yeah, that's my first negative. Do you have something at the ready?
Hi. I feel like there's a million things that I could say.
It doesn't have to be a particular scene. You can say, these characters were retarded.
Well, I know what I'm going to say, and that is that Christian Grey is like the biggest asshole I've ever damn seen.
He never... Sorry to steal the spotlight here, but he never changes.
No.
He never... I was waiting for the whole movie. I was waiting for the last whole movie. I was waiting during the whole first movie. I guess I already said I don't remember the first movie, so maybe I wasn't. But I wait, you know, in movies, as most normal people do, for the arc, for the change, even if it's just one moment, the moment where the person who is broken and damaged and what have you makes a change, and it's a change for the better, and it never happens for Christian.
And they also, like, they act like there's going to be a character arc, because the whole series, you know, this girl is trying to change this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like a common theme throughout the movie of, you know, oh, she's an independent woman. She doesn't want to be, like, put down by this, like, kind of misogynistic,
like, controlling
rich guy. Yeah. And she always, like, freaking ends up,
like, submitting.
Yeah, submitting to him.
Yeah.
So weird.
You know,
she always concedes to him.
one thing that I kind of wish is that I had read the books, and the only reason is because I remember hearing somewhere that at the end of the third book, she ends up, like, changing him or whatever.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And I am not saying that, like, BDSM is wrong or whatever.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
But the point of the story is that Christian is wrong because he's like an asshole, right? And apparently in the books, and you know, this might be misinformation, but I remember somebody saying that by the end of the third book, like, she manages to change him and, like, everything works out. But at the end of this movie, nothing has changed.
No.
And
I feel like he was worse in this movie than any of the previous two.
That was actually annoying for me too, because in the movies, it did feel like he was making progress in each movie to become, like, nicer or whatever, and I feel like that was his arc in all of them. But by this one, it's like all of the progress that was done before, it's like it never happened.
It's almost like these are three completely separate movies. It doesn't feel like a trilogy.
They're three different versions of the same movie.
Yeah, they're so, like, disconnected. Nothing about them flows or feels like a cohesive story.
Yeah, there's no through line. There's no, like, theme that goes through all of them.
But back to the point, he is such an asshole.
Yeah.
And, like, without even saying anything about, like, the BDSM, because I don't think that inherently is what makes him an asshole.
No, he's just a shitty guy.
He's just, like, a freaking misogynist jerk.
Yeah. You know,
he tries to control everything that she does.
I thought they were setting this up in the movie, but it never happened, so I guess they didn't set it up. But one thing that I actually liked about the movie that ends up leading me to something I didn't like was the Red Room, which has been in all three of these movies. If you guys didn't know, that's the room where Christian has all of his BDSM stuff, and he will take, you know, whoever is his girlfriend
also, I feel
in there.
like the room is so, like, over the top.
Like, no one actually has a room
I feel
like
like
that.
even if you were a billionaire who was super into BDSM,
Yeah.
that is, like, a cartoon version of, like, what someone would have in their house. Like,
Yeah.
why do you need a separate room for it anyway?
Well, anyway, he does have this red room, and it's for his you know, tools and toys. And the room is used at least 2 times in the movie. And the 2 times I'm thinking of, this is the part that I like about the movie, is that the 2 times that it's used in the movie, it's used by one of the 2 characters, Anastasia or Christian, as a way to get back at the other one. So
you're right.
Christian first uses the room because he's pissed at Anastasia, and so he gets her in there, and he, like, uses this vibrator on her, but he, like...
I have to talk about this part.
He, like... Okay, go ahead.
Because I laughed out loud. Oh my god. So, he, like, straps her up to this fixture. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out this vibrator, and he, like, touches it to her shoulder, and she jumps, like, a foot.
Yeah.
And I just...
She's blindfolded.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I couldn't take it. I had to laugh.
So she gets scared when it touches her.
She's like... Oh, my my god, it was so funny.
That was pretty funny. I remember you laughing in the theater.
And I was the only one, too. We were, like, laughing up a storm, and no one else was.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't know what people's problems were in that theater, but I think they were there for the movie for real.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I was too. I feel like I always kind of give movies a chance.
I was excited for it. I want to see how it's doing on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that is super important.
But I walked in there giving the movie a chance, and I'm going to point out here some things that I really liked about it. But overall, it just failed as a movie. It failed as a third movie in a trilogy. It didn't do any of the things that I want movies to do for me. So it failed for me.
Right.
Maybe it did some of the things that other people wanted it to do. Well, not me.
Holy crap. It's at a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. I did not expect it to be that low. Funny.
Wow. That was funny.
I think fitting, though.
Yeah. So the room is used once by him. He straps her up. He uses the vibrator on her. But he kind of like blue balls her, where he like uses it on her and then pulls it away and then uses it on her and pulls it away. Because he's like pissed at her or something, and he's like, "This is how you make me feel."
Oh, and he's punishing her because she like went out for a drink with her friend.
Yeah.
That part pissed me off so bad.
It's a pretty stupid reason.
He gets so mad at her because she goes out for a drink with her best friend.
But that's his version of revenge, right?
So weird.
And so he does that. And then later in the movie, Anastasia wants to get revenge on him for some reason. I think because he's pissed about the pregnancy.
Yeah, spoiler alert. She gets pregnant, and he's a huge dick to her.
Yeah, even if you didn't want to have the kid, like, wouldn't you put on a face at least and be like, "Oh, this is exciting," like, "Oh, but I'm scared. Aren't you scared, baby?" I don't know. He was just like, "You didn't take your birth control shot? What were you thinking?"
He was so mean to her.
Yeah.
And, he had an equal part in making the baby, so he has equal responsibility.
Yeah, he put that dirty dick in her.
Stop. Oh, my God.
I can't remember where I heard a dirty dick.
That's disgusting.
But I heard that somewhere, and I thought it was, like, the best fucking phrase that I ever heard. So anytime I have the opportunity to say dirty dick about something, I will say it.
Don't.
I wish I could find out what that was from. But he sticks his dirty dick in her.
Oh my God.
And that's what impregnates her. Like, that's his jizz.
Oh my God.
Why is he pissed? It's stupid. He's stupid. He's a stupid character.
He, ruins it.
Yeah.
For her. I feel so bad.
But anyway, so she's pissed at him for being a dick. So she ends up
She hides in there.
going into the red room, which only has one key, and locking herself in there to piss him off, right?
And then he thinks that she ran away. I'm like, how can you not understand that she's in there if the door is locked and the key is missing?
Yeah,
he goes and knocks on the
door. There's only one key, so whatever. He goes to try to open it, so he must know that it...
He at least suspects that she could be in there.
Yeah, he must know that it should have been unlocked if he's trying to open it without a key.
Right.
So, I don't know. That was kind of illogical. That's almost a literal plot hole.
When he tries to get in there, and then the next scene is when she goes downstairs and he's telling his security guards, "Oh, we need to find her." I'm like, well, what do you mean you need to find her? You just tried to get into the room that she's in.
Yeah.
Why would you even look there?
You found her. There she is. So anyway, I was saying that I liked that they utilized the room as a symbol for badness, for badness in their relationship, like revenge and getting back at a person, which is a negative aspect to relationships.
Yeah,
and I
they
thought
have a very unhealthy relationship.
I thought that in the movie they were going to continue, so that was what I liked. So I was thinking that maybe they were going to reuse that symbol later in the movie, and that it was going to have some sort of payoff. And so
a lot of ideas are abandoned in this series. I have some of those to talk about too.
We just put away the dog and the food. We're going back to professional mode.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle
We got a little too crazy.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like, we've been here for like 25 minutes, and I feel like we barely talked about the movie.
Right.
So, I figured that they were going to reuse that symbol, and that this is what was going to happen. They were going to have a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that as a, like, sort of message to Anastasia from Christian, he was going to say, like, I'm a changed man.
And he's going to turn it into a nursery?
Yes.
Oh my god, that would have been a good idea.
He was going to say, I'm a changed man. He was going to tear down the Red Room and say, like, yeah, we can still, like, have sex all the time, and, like, you know, I'll put the handcuffs on you and we'll have fun, whatever. But I'm not going to have, like, this whole room, this, like, psycho fucking room dedicated to it.
Really
like,
fucked up.
I'm going to be a dad now. Like, I'm going to tear it down and turn it into, because we're going to have a kid. We need to put the kid somewhere.
I'm ready.
I'm going to turn it into a room for the kid. And I was like,
good.
I was thinking during the movie, like, that's what's going to happen. And it never came to fruition. They never did that. They ended up moving to a different building.
Yeah, I've thought about that too.
Yeah.
So one of the big, or what at least you think is going to be big storylines of the movie, is that he buys her a house.
Yep.
And it's a house that she saw in the last movie. She's like, oh, what a beautiful house. And you know that he's going to, like, freaking buy it for her.
You just reminded me of something else that I didn't like about the movie. Another dropped storyline.
Well, that's what I'm about to talk about.
Right.
Unless it's not what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Either way. So he buys her this house and hires this lady to fix it up for them.
Yep.
And
The architect.
Yeah. And this scene is in, like, all the trailers and stuff. So you probably see when the architect is flirting with Christian, and then Anna gets all tough and is like, do not touch my husband. Call me Mrs. Gray.
Yep.
We never see her again, and we don't see the house again until the last scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, where is their house? Where is this lady that was causing all this conflict?
Yeah. Not even the after credits scene or the mid credits scene, right?
Right.
We see it after they do
the credits roll, and you have not seen that house again since that scene at the very beginning of the movie.
And then there's a mid credits scene that
and you
shows
see the house for a split second.
Yeah. That was dumb. There are two things I just thought of that they drop. Number one, they drop the whole last name thing. Like, there's this whole plot line that could have been really interesting where Anastasia's having trouble, like, coming to terms with having a new last name. Like, she doesn't want to change her email and stuff.
And he freaking goes to her office and interrupts a meeting that she's in because he's like, I tried to email you at Anna Gray and it bounced. There's no Anna Gray email at this company.
I feel
she's
like,
yeah, I'm still going by my maiden name
that's gotta
at work.
That's got to be straight from the fucking book. I tried to email you and it bounced.
Oh my god, it was so extra. I couldn't. Like, I can't with this freaking...
Man, I have no idea, anything about these actors, but I feel like that guy is just in a really shitty position with a shitty character with shitty lines.
He's actually good. I haven't really seen him in anything else.
For some reason, I have the expectation that he would be good and stuff.
But he's really not good in this, and she's really not good.
No.
But something else that is
dropped.
dropped.
Do they ever explain the scars on his chest? Did they explain it last movie?
Yeah, his dad used to, like, burn him with cigarettes or something. He was abused as a child.
Okay.
And that's actually why he gets into the whole, like, BDSM thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of how he got into BDSM, it was, like, his mom's friend.
Yeah.
Who's, like, kind of baited him into that and groomed him and then started, like, screwing him.
Yep.
And he was actually her submissive, so she would, like, chain him up and stuff.
Yep.
And also, we see a text from her in this movie, but we don't see...
Yeah.
that actress again, Kim Basinger?
I don't know.
Was that who played her?
I don't know.
In the last movie, she's like a big conflict. And you think that's going to also carry over into this movie.
Nope.
Also in the second movie, she has one of the best scenes in cinema that I've ever witnessed.
It's pretty good.
Oh my god. Should we talk about it?
I don't know if we can explain it, and it will...
It's just something you have to see. Oh my god, it's so funny.
No one will think it's funny while we're explaining it.
We love it, though. We replay it, like, all the time. That's
a funny scene in a bad movie. Yeah, so I don't like that they dropped the last name thing. And there was another thing that they dropped also that I didn't like. Oh, yeah, it was. There's a whole storyline about Christian's brother possibly cheating on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And that never comes to fruition. That guy ends up proposing to his wife.
Yeah, well, it's not his wife. It was his girlfriend. And then he proposes to her.
Duh. And so there ends up not being any resolution to that conflict either. We don't find out if he was cheating or not.
That's supposed to be the resolution, that he's not cheating.
Because he proposed?
Well, I mean, it obviously doesn't, like, necessarily mean that in real life, but for the movie, it's probably, like, their version of closure.
Yeah, it's a bad version. It doesn't work for me.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just trying to
No.
get into the mind of the director.
Can you get into the mind of the director about the whole ice cream scene?
No. I can't. It's asking too much of me.
Jesus. So, it's not even the director's fault, probably. The ice cream shit was probably in the book.
I'm sure.
So
bad.
Yeah. So what other things even happen in this movie? So like, what's the main? Let's finally do it. Let's go through the.
The movie is like a non-event. Like
Yeah.
it's like a vlog. It's like you just watch them live.
Oh, here's a positive actually. One thing I liked about the movie, because I'm thinking about going from start to finish right now. The very first thing we see is their wedding.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but I didn't like how the wedding was like so abruptly
Oh,
at the beginning.
I was gonna say that I did like it.
Really? What?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I liked that they basically skipped over it. Because I felt like if they spent a lot of time with it, it would have been really awkward.
But there's nothing else really in the movie. It's not like it was taking away from anything else.
I just feel like if they had a whole wedding scene, it would have been too... I don't know.
Also, for anyone who has, like, never been on the internet before and doesn't know this, 50 Shades of Grey was originally a Twilight fan fiction.
Yep.
So it kind of follows the beats of the Twilight books.
Yeah.
And
We could talk about Twilight a little bit.
I guess we could. But in the last Twilight book / movie, the wedding is like right at the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it like as abrupt as this?
Not as like it doesn't start in the middle of the wedding, but I think the book and the movie. I read the books like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like the book begins like a day before the wedding.
Yeah. Twilight, I don't have a lot to say about, except that I did see most of the movies, and that there are some of the most unintentionally hilarious moments in those movies.
They are funny.
Like, the shit when Edward is running around with her on his back is really funny.
Have you ever seen that spoof movie, Vampires Suck, where
No.
it's because the effect of him running at like super speed is so cheesy in the movie. They make fun of it in the spoof, and he comes around the corner, like you only see his torso going super fast, and then he comes around the corner and he's on a Segway. I thought that was so funny when I was like 15.
That is funny. Yeah, so they get married.
Yeah.
I like that the wedding was really fast. You maybe did not like that.
I mean, I don't think I disliked it. It just feels like
Yeah.
maybe some missed opportunity, but probably not anyway.
What's the next thing that happens?
They go on their honeymoon.
Yeah, is this when they're on the beach and he gets pissed about her tits?
Yeah, that her boobs are out. Also,
Yeah.
she didn't know that he owned a private jet. It's like, you're married to this guy and you don't know that he has a jet?
That was
How
weird.
How does that happen?
That was a really weird line. She's like,
You own this?
you own this? And he's like, we own this.
Dude, it's so extra.
Oh, God. The thing that I hate about it is I feel like it's a bunch of random things mashed together.
It's so, yes, disconnected. It's
If they had a line...
sloppy.
If they had the line where he says, we own this, and then like that was like one of the main themes of the movie, and they like work through that...
How would it have been a theme? What do you mean?
Maybe he would say that at the end, I'm saying. Like, maybe the movies like could have the theme where like they're
he keeps stuff from her?
they're married, but he doesn't really like
They barely know each other in reality.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know a lot about each other.
they're married, but maybe they don't like join things. Like they won't join their bank accounts, and he like you said, keeps things from her. I'm making this up, by the way. And then maybe at the end of the movie, like they're gonna do something with the jet, and she's like, "You own a private jet," and he's like, "We own a private jet," and then credits. That was stupid, actually, but like you know what I'm saying? Like that was a little story that I told that
Yeah,
like,
at least it
all
feels like
all the things
it's
had to
connected.
do with each other. Yeah, they're all connected. But this was just like a mishmash of a bunch of things.
Yeah. Also, we got like a fan ship video towards the end of the movie. Did you pick up on that? It's like a montage of
Oh yeah,
I
of the
thought
other
that-
movies.
It was so cheesy.
That was kind of dumb. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah. Not a fan. Man. I really thought they were going to do that thing where he tears down the frickin' red room.
I didn't think of it until you said it, but I think that would have been a good idea.
Yeah,
Even though they were moving it to a house, so
Yeah. I really
why would he?
thought he was going to do that. But I think that was because I was so focused the whole movie on him and what is going to be his redemption arc.
Because
But
he needed redemption because he was an asshole.
it never happens.
Now I just hate him forever because we're never going to see any more of him.
I mean, it kind of happens very quickly. Like, she gets pregnant, he is an asshole to her, and then, like, a bunch of violent things happen with, like, a kidnapping and stuff.
We're going to talk about Jack Hyde in a second because that is just so much.
So stupid. And then after all of that, like, crisis happens, then he's finally like, oh, okay, I want to have the kid. And then the movie is, like, over by that point.
His freaking reasoning for being mad at her for getting pregnant is that he's, like, jealous that she's going to love the kid more than she loves him. And I'm like, how, like, childish and selfish can you be?
That was amazing, actually. When that happened, I was, like, really into it, actually.
It could have been interesting.
Because I was thinking, this is an interesting idea. This is totally a thing that real people feel when they're going to have a kid. Like,
I don't think so. I thought it was ridiculous.
No. This is totally a thing that real people feel when they're going to have a kid. They feel like they're going to lose their lives or that the other person is not going to pay as much attention to them. And I want to say that, not that it's like a normal thing or that it's good, but that it would have been a good arc for him, him to be pissed at first and be like, you are going to love this baby more than me.
And then come around.
For him to come around by the end of the movie.
Right.
He does come around, but it's so fast.
So fast.
Like there's nothing to
It's
it.
like shoehorned in there.
Yeah. But I feel like that could have been a really good like arc for him.
Yeah, no, you're right.
She should have got pregnant at the beginning of the movie. She gets pregnant at like the end of the movie pretty much.
Yeah.
Like halfway through at least.
Should we talk about Jack, our antagonist?
Yeah, talk about what his deal is. He was in the second movie also.
Yeah, so he was her boss, and then he sexually assaulted her.
Yep.
And she reports it and gets him fired.
Yep.
And he's back for revenge.
For some reason.
I know. Oh,
I actually don't like this. Okay, I'm going to say something I don't like. I don't think that you can make things as convenient as this story makes them.
oh my god.
For
Totally.
for this villain,
Don't spoil his backstory.
I was going to.
We need to hold on to that. That's a big finale moment.
You can go ahead, but I'm just going to shoehorn in here a little Star Wars. It doesn't make sense for Anakin to build C-3PO. C-3PO is some random droid that happened upon Luke by accident. It's not...
It feels very written.
It doesn't need to be connected in that way. It doesn't make sense.
That's kind of how I felt about the jet, oddly enough. It's like,
Yeah.
well, she didn't know about the jet because it literally didn't exist until
Yeah.
just now when they wrote it.
Yep.
Because it's not like a real,
Yeah.
full-bodied universe.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not like a huge Harry Potter fan. I never read the books or anything.
Yeah.
But I do know that J.K. Rowling can answer any question that you ask her about Harry Potter. She knows everything about that world.
Yeah.
This is like one moment there was not a jet, now there's a jet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the whole thing is.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually, that it's not a fully realized world. It's more like a I'm imagining like a snake. Just like
Yeah.
a very closed like tunnel.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Yep. Point A to point B.
So keep talking about Jack because I wanted to say the thing.
So, when do we first see him?
In the last movie?
No, in this movie.
There's a really funny scene with him at the end of the last movie when you find out that he's the villain.
Yeah. Also, you can tell when he gets evil because, like, the makeup that they put on him is all, like, dark around his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't on him until he became a bad guy.
I noticed that, too.
You can tell he's bad because
funny.
He has such sullen eyes.
So, I don't know when we run into him in this movie. I think
totally forget. That's weird.
It's a phone call, I think.
We see him before that, though. Oh, he, like, sets off a bomb in
Yeah,
his office
yeah.
when they're on their honeymoon.
Yep.
And we see him on the security footage.
That was pretty early in the movie.
Yeah, that was way at the beginning.
Yep.
So we know that he's out for Anna and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we see him again until he breaks into their apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But he breaks in and like holds Anna at knife point.
Yep.
And then like the security guards save her because she has this like 24-hour security around all the time. And then they arrest him because he broke in and held her at knife point.
Yep.
And then he makes bail and kidnaps Christian's sister.
Yep.
And this is hilarious.
Okay, I need to ask something here. I did not give a shit about Christian's sister. Did we know her from the other movies?
Yeah, well, she was definitely in the last one, and I think she was in the first one, too.
Okay. I didn't feel any connection to her. Maybe it's just because I don't remember the other two movies. But when he decided that that's the person he was going to kidnap,
Oh, yeah, take her.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit?
It almost would have been better if he, like, kidnaps Anna.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That would have been a good person to kidnap.
But then it would have been, like, she's the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Even though she's, like, a damsel in the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he could have kidnapped Christian.
She had to save him.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the kidnapping, his grand plan?
Yeah. So he kidnaps Christian's sister and he calls Anastasia, and actually we get a like stealth sequence with Anna being like a stealthy ninja. And I actually like two things from this sequence.
Oh my gosh.
I think the whole thing's really cheesy and stupid and doesn't fit in this movie, and it's like really dumb and not well done. But there's two things about it that I could see being in another movie, and you could look at it and be like, "Whoa, that was brilliant."
Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah. So,
I've never been able to say that, and it's one of my favorite sayings ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like dirty dick.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to.
A dirty dick
Censor
is
you.
right 2 times a day.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's move past the dirty dicks and move on to dirty. What's this guy's name?
Jack.
Dirty Jack. So Jack calls Anna and he's like, "Give me $2 million, $5 million in 1.5 hours, and then I won't kill this girl." And so, was there more to his plan that I'm forgetting?
No, I think that was pretty much it.
Okay.
And he said not to tell the police or her husband.
Which I totally expected this movie to subvert. I expected this movie to subvert something. I expected the movie to subvert this and have her tell like the cops or the bodyguard or Christian, because no character ever does that. So it would be nice to finally see one of them do that for once, and then like the FBI like takes care of it correctly and it's fine. Because like any of these like crazy people that tell you like don't tell anyone,
He wouldn't have known if she called the cops.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have any kind of
this guy's not
special setup.
Yeah, he there's nothing special about this guy. He's just
He was
a
literally
guy.
like out in the open.
Yeah.
With her taped to a chair or something.
So I don't really think that it was necessarily appropriate for her to hide anything from anyone, but he tells her to, so she does.
She's so submissive.
She goes and gets the money, And then she goes and saves the girl by shooting him.
Wow.
Wow, she saved her by shooting
What
her.
an anti-hero.
I wonder if there's something with that gun that is symbolic. What was it? Not really. Okay.
It was from the second movie. Remember when that crazy girl that Christian used to bang tries to shoot Anna?
Yeah.
And then he keeps it for some reason.
It's
And
weird.
she calls him on it and says, like, why do you have a gun? And
Yeah.
he says he'll get rid of it, and then he never does, and then she uses it.
Yeah. What the fuck, Christian?
Why did they leave all of these loose ends just hanging there?
That's not very Christian of you.
Not very Christian-like.
So here, let me just jump into the things that I liked about this scene, and then maybe I'll jump into Jack and the things that are just too convenient about him. In this stealth scene, Anastasia, we're reversing a little bit here. So Anastasia gets that call from the guy, and she has to go to the bank, but she has this bodyguard that's watching over her, but she wants to just go by herself because she doesn't want him to know about this.
She's not supposed to tell anyone.
And so she calls him on the phone and is like, "Can you help me in the library?" And he's like,
They have a
"Okay."
freaking library in their house, apparently.
And he walks over to the library, and then she sneaks out. If that was in any other movie, it would have been like a cool, stealthy moment, right? I thought that was actually cool. And then
I also thought it was funny when he catches her running away, and he's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
He's, "Oh shit."
I liked the bodyguard.
Yeah, that was a nice guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I liked that moment. And then she gets to the bank, and she convinces...
Meets the most passive man I've ever seen in my life.
I think he's mostly passive because, he knows Christian or something.
No, totally.
But-
But still, it was just so funny.
But so she asks this guy for...
He's like the bank guy.
Yeah,
She's just going there to get the money.
he's the bank guy, so she asks him for the money. He gives her the money. And then she asks him for his phone. And the reason she asked him for his phone... Don't laugh. This is the part...
No, it's just, I'm laughing at the part when she took his phone.
This is
It
the
was funny.
part. This is the part that I like. She had a phone call earlier with Jack, where he says, "Okay, you're going to have to take the money to a car that's outside of the bank right now, and you." He says
Give the driver your phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say he says don't take your phone. He says take your phone, give it to the driver. You're not gonna need it anymore, right? And so she gets to the car. She gives the driver her phone, but she does this amazing thing.
Yeah, Anna, she's a smart little devil when it gets to this
This is cool.
heist part of the movie.
Remember when you're in high school and you're not allowed to use your phone, and the teacher's like, everybody put their phone in the box, and one of the smart kids puts a second phone in the box.
Who has a second phone?
And then
What are you talking about?
you never run into this?
No, I've never had a second phone on me.
I never really had any teachers that really took away phones or took them away at the beginning of class. But you know how some of them would do that?
Yes. Well, not if they caught you using it, but not just at the beginning of class. That would be stupid.
Not at the beginning of class? You'd never have one like that?
No, I've had teachers catch me on my phone.
Okay.
And give me your phone.
Well, that's a thing. If a teacher doesn't want people to use their phone in the class, at the beginning, they will go to every student.
Oh, I would never do that. I'd be like, I'm not giving you my phone.
And they'll be like, put your phone in the box, right?
That's stupid.
So, anyway, the point of this is that some kids, to get around this, they would put a fake phone into the box, and then they would have their real phone in their pocket, and they would go on their phone during class.
Seems a little much for every class.
Yeah.
Just to be able to use your phone when
Anyway.
you probably won't anyway, since you're in class the whole time.
No, you are going to use it because you are a shitty student.
Alright.
People use their phones in class all the time.
I know, I'm just saying, if you had a teacher who was that strict about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, kids, I don't know, they think they're sly. They think they can get away with it.
Any kid who gets a second phone just to put in that basket is sly.
So this is what Anastasia does. She asks that banker guy before she leaves. She's like, "Can I borrow your phone?" And he gives her the phone, which is funny.
It's really funny.
Because it's his personal cell phone, and he gives it to her. But it's just because he's doing whatever Christian, tells him to do, and by extension whatever she tells him to do. Because by the end of the day, he'll get his payday, I'm sure. But So he gives her the phone, and she gives the driver the banker guy's phone. And so the driver throws the banker guy's phone out the window, and then Anna still has her phone.
Yeah. And
so
a funny part about this is her security guard has like caught up with her at this point, or is trying to anyway.
yeah,
And he gets to the alley just as Anna's pulling away in that car.
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, I just missed her. And her phone is here in the alley." And then it cuts to Christian, and he's on his phone.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I'm tracking her phone. She still has it." It was just funny
Yeah.
the way that it cut right to him doing that.
But I thought that was really cool
It is clever.
and unexpected, and something that you could have seen in like any other movie where some
Like in
person,
Taken.
yeah, where a person is like trying to be smart to like outsmart the bad guys,
Mm-hmm.
giving them the wrong phone and then still having your phone so that Christian can track you.
Yeah, Anastasia Steele has a very unique set of skills.
But there you go. That's fucked up that he can even track her. He's so overbearing.
Yeah, he's so extra with her.
I hate that character.
I know, he's awful. I would not put up with someone like that, even if they were a billionaire.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just strict. She literally can't go for a drink with her friend. And if he's going to New York, she has to like take off work to go with him. He just expects her to do that.
I feel like
horrifying.
a big problem with these movies too is like you don't really believe in the relationship. It's got all
They don't
of...
even seem like they like each other that much.
Yeah, the entirety of all the movies is them fighting about shit and not really like having chemistry with each
Never having a
other.
resolution to any of the fights either.
And like sure they have like sex all the time, but anybody who's not a retard knows that you need more than that. And they just don't have anything else. They don't meet for any particular reason. Like they don't have like common interests or anything like that. They don't do anything.
He only wanted
together.
to bang her because she looked like his dead mom.
Yeah.
And he wants to like punish women who look like his mom,
Yeah.
which is fucked up.
What a psycho. I really liked the part in the movie when she tells him to grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the turning point for him, actually. When she said that to him, he had like a look on his face, and I was like, oh, did it finally click for him? Is he gonna turn now
Maybe it did.
and become good?
We just won't know because we got that big, exciting conclusion that threw us off.
But I thought that was maybe going to be the turning point for him. So Jack. The thing I was going to say about Jack, which is related to his backstory. So did you get all your
Yeah, I think we
backstory out?
can drop the bomb now.
Okay. Here's the thing I don't like about Jack that is just too convenient. Is this character, this bad guy, Jack?
Just like the jet, it's like just plopped at the end, and it doesn't have to connect in any way during the rest of the story.
Jack is... No, I agree with you on that, but that's not what I'm going to say.
What are you gonna say?
What I'm going to say is a little bit like more magnifying glass. Totally something that the writers were not thinking about.
Like a nitpick?
Yeah, this might be a little bit of a nitpick, but I think it's really valid. Jack is bad for two reasons. Reason number one, we already went over. In movie number 2, Jack sexually assaults Anastasia. Jack is Anastasia's boss,
Right.
right? And so later in this movie, the third movie, we learn the third reason that Jack is bad, and he says it like a million times in the movie. They really went overboard with that.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
heavy-handed for sure. Laying it on thick.
In a movie, you only have to say something one half of a time.
Don't even say it.
Yeah,
like
that's why
imply
I said one half.
Right.
You don't even need to say something once. You need to say it never and
don't
just show
tell.
it, and then like we'll know. But he says like a million times, like,
You owe me a life.
you owe me a life. Christian and I used to be foster kids together.
Well, he doesn't say that. That's what the bomb that we find out at the end.
Right, but like we fucking, like, he's implying it constantly.
Yeah, no problem.
So we
Totally.
know, but then they spell it out for us at the end, which really pissed me off.
And it was like such a non-reveal.
Yeah, it
She's like,
didn't
"Oh,
mean anything.
What is this here?" He's like, "Oh, some paperwork on Jack." And she looks at it and she's like, "Oh my god, it's a picture of you two together."
Yeah,
You were
I thought it would be a really
you were
good
foster
twist
brothers."
where like he knew something about Christian or something, but nothing. All it really was is that he was pissed that Christian got adopted and he didn't.
What makes him think that like those people would have adopted him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Maybe it was in the book.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was more to that story.
And how the hell did she end up working for Christian's ex-foster brother in one of the biggest cities in the world?
That's
in
my
Seattle,
point. That's exactly my
before
point.
he even knows that she's dating Christian.
Yes.
So it's not like she applied. He was like, oh my god, this is Christian Gray's girlfriend.
Yes.
Christian Grey stole my life.
Yeah. So
It was purely coincidence.
it doesn't make sense that the two reasons he's bad are connected to two different people that didn't know about each other originally. He's like a serial rapist of his secretaries, and also he like has a revenge vendetta against Christian. How did both of those end up happening together?
Yeah, it almost like if someone who read the books came up and told me like, oh, you know that Jack Hyde in the movie is actually based on like two different characters in the book and they just kind of made it into one character,
Yeah.
I would totally believe it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's like not a real person.
But anyway, that was my nitpick, is that
I don't think that's a nitpick. I think that is
his two motivations seem like completely
Huge
split.
point.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't register in my head. It doesn't logically make sense. Coming up on an hour here.
Well, we talked about our villain.
I didn't know if we would be able to talk about it for this long, but we're at an hour.
Oh, we talked about Canes too.
Yeah, we talked about the villain, who is not a good villain.
Oh, can we talk about my favorite part?
Bad motivation. I need villains to not be villains. I need them to be normal characters with motivations.
Like Kylo Ren.
Like Kylo Ren. Okay, what were you going to say?
My favorite part, when they were being chased by that SUV.
Oh my god. Yeah, the chase scene when
Yeah.
Anastasia is doing like stunt level driving for some reason.
So this is right after they like see the house that he just bought her.
Yeah.
And he lets her drive like his fancy sports car.
Mm-hmm.
And she's driving so fast that she like loses the security that was driving behind them.
I was thinking it would have been funny if she crashed, but she doesn't.
Oh my god. So she loses their security.
Yeah.
And then Christian gets a call from them.
Yeah.
And they say there's like an SUV behind you, and he looks and there's an SUV behind them.
Yeah.
And Christian's like, we're being followed. It's like, it's just a car on the road. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. And then she does all of these like Fast and the Furious maneuvers to get
Yeah.
away from the car. Oh my god, I thought that was hilarious.
Did not fit in the movie.
No. Oh, while we're kind of that reminded me. Speaking of the house, have you ever seen like a more like void of emotion scene? Like he buys her this dream house and they're both like just stoic.
Oh, it was totally ripping off of The Office.
I was thinking, I thought about The Office when freaking it was happening, and I'm like, when Jim buys Pam a house,
Yeah.
it is such like a heartfelt scene.
Uh-huh.
And like you want to cry, and
And it's a normal sized house / it's his parents' house.
right.
Like, it's such a down to earth scene.
Right.
But this is like this rich retard with his dirty dick money
Stop saying
buys
that.
this dirty house that is like a giant castle, and she's like, you bought me a house. Like, there's nothing going on.
They need to get Jenna Fisher in there.
They need to get a story that's not about a rich person.
Him being rich, like, it makes so much of this like story kind of inconsequential.
It's one
Do
of
you
the
know what I mean?
things, yeah, it's one of the things that ruins the whole thing, because a person that's rich, and I'm not saying anything bad about the actor necessarily, but if somebody told you act like a person who has X, Y, and Z qualities, but you're poor, and then you told them to act like you have those same X, Y, and Z qualities, but you're rich this time, you would act significantly differently as an
Yeah.
actor. And so it causes this character, maybe it's more the writing than the acting, but this character is just like your classic, like, emotionless, like, rich asshole who has no concept of how normal people are.
He's like a void.
Yeah. I don't like Christian.
No, if you want to see a good scene where someone buys someone a house, watch The Office. Don't watch 50 Shades Freed.
Just go watch The Office. If you want to see anything at all, see The Office instead of 50 Shades Freed.
And we never see that freaking architect again.
He's never freed.
She's never freed. She's stuck with him.
Yeah. She's stuck with some asshole. I feel like in a real movie, they would give us a happy ending and we would feel like everything's going to work out in the end. But that's not how life is. Like, life is dirty and, like, you're constantly going to be, like, fighting in a relationship and changing.
Life's a dirty dick.
But in this movie, they don't even do that the correct wrong way. They do it the double wrong way, where you know that these people are not even right for each other. No. And you think, like, if you're thinking logically, you're thinking they might not even stay married. Like, they'll probably get a fucking divorce, these two.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. And it's like a movie, and it's like a dream world. So, of course, in the eyes of the creator, they do end up together forever. But if this was real, I don't see those two working out because they don't have chemistry, their personalities and whatnot.
They don't even get along.
No. No, they don't. What a weirdo.
Christian Grey.
Yeah, he's so protective. There's a scene early in the movie when they're at like a nude beach. It's not really a nude beach, but like women have their tops off or whatever.
I think it's a nude beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise people wouldn't be naked.
You're right.
I don't know, but...
Yeah, you're probably right. I just was, for some reason, under the impression that, yeah, they were in Paris?
I think they were in, like, Greece. Okay. They start in Paris.
Well, I was thinking that maybe there was a chance that it was just the way that beaches were at that place.
Something else that is, like, totally abandoned, at the beginning of the series, Anna does not like the lavish lifestyle, and she gets, like, really pissed off whenever he tries to buy her something. Like, he buys her a laptop and a car, and she's like, oh, this is, like, so much. I'd rather just have my shitty stuff. Like, I'm a real girl. Look at me. And she does not give a fuck in this movie.
None of that is in this movie.
She's got a Cartier bracelet on. She's flying all over the damn place, getting these houses. I'm like, well, how did this character, like, act the complete opposite of this literally, like, 5 minutes ago in the last movie?
Yeah, there's definitely a disconnect with the three movies. Like you said, I don't really feel like they fit together nicely.
Poor writing.
Yeah. I think they all three were directed by different people, too. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
A lot of series have different movies directed by different directors, though, so I don't think that's an excuse.
Yeah, definitely.
But it could have added to it.
Mm-hmm. I think I covered all the things that I really...
I was just going to say, I think I'm, like, running out of gas on the 50 Shades.
I'm kind of burnt out on this shit.
So it's more like a venting.
Yeah.
Venting session.
Why could you make it so bad? Just make it good. Please.
Also, the architect that Anna chews out for flirting with Christian, she drives a brown car, and Anna calls it a shit-colored car.
Yeah.
What?
I remember that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a superficial movie in the worst sense. Nobody changes. Nothing changes. Everything is the same, and the same is that it started out shitty and terrible with crappy people, and it ends up that way also at the end.
An unhealthy relationship.
They're going to be shitty parents.
Also some, like, borderline kind of sexual assault happening sometimes.
Oh, yeah, between them?
Yeah, between Anna and Christian.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I would not recommend that movie.
Unless you want to, go and make fun of it.
Yeah. Would you give this the thumbs up or the thumbs down? We need a rating system. This is our first review ever, so this is the end of the review. We can
We need to set a precedent.
create our rating system right now. We could go simple. We could go thumbs up, thumbs down. We could
Let's
go
do black and white though. This
little-
is 50 Shades of Grey, so.
This is 50 Shades of Grey. We could give it a score out of 50.
I don't know. Maybe we'll go 12, like Rotten Tomatoes. 12 out of 50.
12 out of 50.
It's actually technically double.
Yeah,
Rotten
'cause
Tomatoes
it's 12
rating.
out of 100. Yeah, I'm gonna give 50 Shades of Grey 0 shades of gray out
You
of
give it a white.
out of 50. Yeah, I give it a. I don't even know. It doesn't really deserve anything. It's just like a nothing.
I feel like I don't even have a rating for it.
No. Well, I'll say this. The important thing I think people want to walk away from this knowing is, should they spend their money to go see this on Valentine's
Have we not made
Day?
that clear yet? I think we should just end it right here.
Yeah. I think that a lot of reviews maybe are better without the rating. If you just hear all of the thoughts of the person,
Just word vomit.
then you know how they feel.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about
We don't
this
have
movie?
to give you a number for you to know how we feel.
Yeah. What are you expecting?
It's 2018.
Yeah, it's 2018. I give it a 0 out of 2018. All right. I think that's all. We will see you guys in the next one.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. Goodbye.
And good night.